Speaking of
Right.
those
And
trolls.
speaking of trolls, though, and speaking of trolls, like, go ahead, bro. I'll let you do it.
No, you shoot it, bud.
Speaking of trolls, man, we know a lot of trolls because we have a lot of that in Kansas City, and I don't even know why. Because half of these motherfuckers that don't really get hurt sometimes, but a lot of people do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But trolls, man, and the huge troll of them all. And I was glad because remember I texted you and I was just like, this motherfucker's on Clubhouse. This dude on Clubhouse, Wack 100. Like a lot of people don't even understand, like, with that fucking troll shit, like that troll shit is some hurtful, dumb shit. You know what I mean? Like you can get hurt by that. And I think a lot of people think you need views to do that type of shit, which you don't have to. You know what I mean? You don't have to do that to be viral. Like, tell them a little bit about these trolls and these haters, man, because I got a good one for you with this Wack 100 one.
You know what? I haven't said this publicly yet, but I'll be honest with you. So, you know, I'm new to this media space. I started my podcast, the Holding Court podcast, a year and a half ago, right? I had never uploaded a video to YouTube prior to that. I never even paid attention really to YouTube and media like that prior to the quarantine, right?
Right.
So, excuse me, you know, of course, you know, I had my well-documented riff with Wack 100, you know.
Yeah.
And that was only because of him coming at my brother, right?
At P. Right.
At Mr. P. So I'm gonna say through this year and a half that I've really been in this space and paying attention to not only Wack 100, but everybody, you know, I'm a student of the game, you know. I can say I feel differently about Wack than I did a year ago. You know, now I agree with you. Everybody, you don't have to do that. Trolling and being messy and all of that, right? You don't have to do that. If that's what you choose to do with your content, cool. I think what happens is when it's not a balance. And see, I try to provide balance with my platform and just with my brand and my approach. So don't like people when they ask me Holding Court podcast, I always tell them it's black excellence and nigga shit all into one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I try to have balance, right? As it pertains to Wack, bro, I can say this. I think that a lot of what he does is for clicks, is for views. I think it's for entertainment. I don't think that 99% of the stuff he says he necessarily means. I think that I have learned that, to be honest with you, I fuck with Cash Jones. Like I fuck with Cash.
Right.
The Wack motherfucker, not so much. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But when he being a certain kind of way and he's being on his OG grown man shit, I fuck with dude. You know what I mean? But again, I think, you know, a lot of his content is acrimonious, it's vitriolic, it's hateful, you know, it's pejorative. And
sometimes it bites him in the ass too. And that's that just how me and him got into it, because it was about the Tupac situation, and a lot of people from the whole West Coast was going at him because of that. That's where it all started. You know what I'm saying? And I understand what he was doing. It was for clout. You know what I'm saying? It's building his name up and building up for LT Hutton, which, you know, LT Hutton already had it. You know what I'm saying? Because he's with Pac. He was with Pac. You know what I mean? So he was new, and I told him, I was like, hey, man, you got to look at it like this. It's not good for business, what you're saying. You know what I mean? Meaning that
he would have been smarter.
Meaning that if you're going to say this shit, you're going to remember you got to stick by this shit, because if you don't stick by this shit, I mean, a lot of deals are going to be, you know, not on your table. And that's why I tried to tell him, and he called me a dummy. You know what I'm saying? He wanted to talk down on me. And look what happened to the Game album. The Game album beat him in the ass because, look, NBA Youngboy verse came off and Nipsey's verse came off, which truly, I mean, a lot of people going to be like, well, you can't get mad at it because at the end of the day, Game fucked with him. But at the end of the day, you bit him in the ass because of that, you know?
And let me tell you what
he does.
I'm sorry not to cut you off.
No, go ahead, bro.
I think the problem with Wack, in my opinion, and people who do that, right? I think that, and you know, I deal with this same issue kind of locally with local social media in Kansas City. What happens is, it's when you plan and the other person ain't playing, or the other person isn't in on it, right? That's where it becomes a problem, because now you make yourself a pariah. You offend people, you burn bridges, and not only do you burn bridges of that person that you're insulting, but everything leading to them. It's one thing if we're in on it. It's one thing if it's an understanding, like some WWE shit. If it's like, okay, it's scripted, we know we gonna beef, but we selling shit and we marketing each other. You know, okay, I get that part, but it becomes dangerous. It's dangerous when you playing with people and they not playing and they don't know to play, because you know, I have heard that he's good for doing, you know, behind the scenes cleaning up. You know what I'm saying? He'll say some shit on social media, but then offline he'll be like, bro, this social media, I ain't really, you know. So I think that's where it could be dangerous, bro. But like I said on No Jumper, bro, to me, you know, risking your life and risking your credibility and risking, you know, just you know, business over clicks and social media, that's crazy to me. Because if we all come from the hood and we come from those environments, and if I've been able to navigate not going to prison, taking penitentiary chances, and surviving in the streets and just surviving as a black man in this country, I'm not finna get to this age and be, you know, crashing out and behind some trying to go viral and some clicks and some bullshit. Like, that's the shit that don't. Now, again, like I said, if it's done under the context of an understanding, like, okay, we're going to build this, which I think is what they're doing in Clubhouse. Sometime I be thinking some of these influencers, they all in on this shit, and we just don't know the storyline. We just ain't privy to it, where everybody's like, look, man, we gonna keep this controversy going. We gonna get these numbers up. We gonna get to the money. Because at the same time, even though it's messy and to some degree it's degrading, and you know, I talked about this on my podcast with Young Mouth. We're kind of the only culture that uses social media to really fuck each other over and down each other. You know what I'm saying? But there is a business model, unfortunately, because people like the bullshit, just like reality shows. If you look at what Lemuel was able to do with Zeus, you know, Zeus got a valuation of like $100 million, and there's nothing but mess on there, nothing but mess. But the public share in that responsibility, because that's what y'all like. That's what they like. You know, I just made a comment today where everybody is sharing the thing about T.I., about him admitting to snitching on his dead partner, right? But that's cool, right? But my thing is, where's the balance? Because T.I. is, as we know, a loquacious, articulate motherfucker. And he has said some enlightening things that could help the culture, but y'all don't report on that or give that the same light. You know, but the minute he say some dumb shit, everybody, but so the public sharing that, you know, so sometimes it's the platforms, but it's the public too. They like.
I'm so glad that you said that too, because even with the 21 Savage, when I went, you know, viral for, well, one of them, I actually two, but with the Nas Irrelevant, and which I'm kind of glad that we get to talk about this, because they only pick and choose what to do with the shit. Like, even with Clubhouse, like, some of the shit is scripted, some of the shit is not scripted. And the part that we was in, it was basically not scripted. Everybody's there to have fun, talk to people. Hell, 21 Savage just comes out of nowhere and just like, he likes the fucking, you know, the house that I'm in. And shout out to Trap and ADHD. Like, that time that he was even trying to say Nas was irrelevant, he just said a word. He just said the word like relevant.
Same thing, bro.
And the next thing you know, they took that. They didn't took none of the dope shit that he was talking about. The whole time we would talk, they took that bullshit, but it ended out in his favor too, because it happened good and a bad, because he did a song with Nas, which was a dope song, you know what I mean? One mic, one gun. And I'm just like, see, they pick and choose.
I said the same thing, bro. I said the same exact thing. If you listen to, you know, that's one thing I learned in this media space. For one, Malcolm X said it. He who controls images controls people's minds, right?
Right.
And the media is so powerful. Me being in this media space, I have learned, bro, that most people are sheep, and most people are sheep. Like I can take a piece of content and put up a short, right? And a short is a minute.
Yeah.
And say that the whole premise of what we were talking about was 3 minutes, or say 2 minutes. Say 2 minutes. I take a minute out of it. I cut this word, cut that word. It changes the whole context. And not only have I changed the context, but the caption, I've already programmed what I want you to think.
Right.
Watching this when I put the caption on there. So even I know how easy it is. So the thing about it is people have to, listen, when you're consuming this content, you got to keep your thinking cap on, and then you have to understand entertainment. Because when he said that, right, I heard something completely, totally different. Again, 21 is intelligent, but it's not like
smart as hell.
He's smart. It's not, but he used kind of the wrong word, but you knew what he was trying to say.
Yeah, you knew what he was trying to say, right.
But what happened was they took out what he said before that statement and took out what he said after the statement.
They just said, Nas isn't a resume. That's it.
So one thing that I say, shout out to Nas and his team for being mature enough to see through the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And media outlets have to be more responsible and operate with integrity. Again, I'm not saying that we have to be all staunch, because listen, I can be a cheerleader for foolishness too. I like a little bit of bullshit, but not to the point of where it bleeds over to the streets, or to where you're becoming hateful and you're really trying to hurt somebody's credibility and you're really trying to start some shit. That's where it becomes a problem.
Right.